Less than 20 years ago, people had to look for payphones to make a call away from their home or office phones. These days, cell phones are everywhere, whether you use them to text, email, take a selfie, or yes, even make a call. In this video, we'll cover how cell phones work, how they get used for both calls and text, and how they handle data. A cell phone is a mobile device that can work from almost anywhere. Instead of using wires, it transmits and receives signals through the air using radio waves. When you speak into your cell phone, its transmitter converts the voice signal into an electrical signal and then sends it on top of a radio frequency to the nearest cell phone tower. The cell phone is also tuned to a different receiving frequency, which brings in voice signals from the person you are talking to. The phone's receiver grabs this signal and converts it back to a voice signal. All current generation cell phones use digital technology. A voice signal itself is analog, which means it is continuous in time. A digital system, like a cell phone, takes samples of the analog signal at regular time intervals, then converts the samples into a stream of ones and zeros called bits. The resulting binary digital signal is then encoded to protect against errors in transmission. It's sort of like the bubble wrap used in packages to minimize the risk of damage in transit. To help your bubble-wrapped binary voice data get transmitted, the stream of bits is then modulated onto the phone's transmission frequency. You could think of modulation as the transportation vehicle which carries the bubble-wrapped package to its final destination. If you are like me, you've been scratching your head over those crazy cell acronyms like GSM, CDMA, LTE. These are actually technologies that use different modulation techniques. All of them try to basically squeeze as much utility out of the available frequency bandwidth, just as a courier would try to pack in a lot of packages in their delivery truck. But there is a lot more to cell phones than just the device. Cell phones need service providers. A cell phone service provider who wants to operate in a region maps the geographical area into hexagonal cells in a honeycomb pattern. The provider installs a tower and a base station in each cell to keep track of all subscribers' phones in that cell and to connect those phones with the wider network. When you buy a cell phone with a service provider, the phone comes equipped with a unique ID associated with that service provider. This ID is written either into the phone's removable SIM card or embedded into the phone's circuitry. When the phone is in a provider's service area, it will periodically receive a signal from the nearest base station that carries the same ID. This periodic signaling is a way to track the phone. Texting uses this always-on signaling pathway between the phone and the base station. Text messages get encoded and sent in packets of binary data to the cell tower and from there onto the destination via the network. So texting actually piggybacks on the invisible leash that ties the cell phone to the nearest tower. This is possible because texts are limited in size and there is no rush to deliver them in real time. Calls, on the other hand, are a lot more high maintenance. First of all, they get to ride on assigned frequencies within an allowed band, not just on a low-capacity signaling channel on the sidelines. Calls also need to be constantly checked for signal strength. When the nearest base station detects a low enough signal, it knows that you have wandered into the neighboring cell. It quickly does what's called a handoff with that other cell's base station. This second base station now takes charge and just as quickly assigns your phone a new set of frequencies to continue the call. This clever handover happens in a matter of milliseconds, and you don't even notice the difference. Remember the bubble wrap packages and the modulation truck? Well, our package just got transferred onto a different truck. We've covered texting and phone calls, but what about data? Smartphones cram an amazing amount of technology in such a small size. Just to handle the voice signal, a cell phone has to have a tiny antenna and miniature circuitry that handles digital coding and communication. Add to this an even more powerful mini computer with a motion-sensitive touchscreen, and now you're browsing the web, taking and sending pictures, watching videos, and listening to music. That is an incredible number of bits to transmit and receive, but your amazing powerhouse smartphone can handle all of that. To recap, today's cell phone uses all kinds of sophisticated circuitry, ingenious coding schemes, and incredibly high computing speeds to keep you connected via a very complicated network. It's no wonder those little beasts cost a bundle. Watch our video on cellular networks to see how your texts, calls, and data actually get carried across the cellular network. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to the Tech Animate channel for more fun and informative videos like this one.